As the 2023 election draws near, names of front-runners of every party is clear. An epic battle is set for February 25th, 2023, between the flag-bearers of the two major political parties, the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP. While the PDP candidate, Atiku Abubarkar, hails from Adamawa in the northeast geopolitical zone, his counterpart of the APC, Bola Tinubu, is from Lagos State in the southwest geopolitical zone. Both of them are septuagenarians who have been in the country's political terrain for over 3 decades, as Atiku is 75 and Tinubu is 70. Aside from the duo of Atiku and Tinubu, the candidates of the Labour Party, former Governor of Anambra State Peter Obi, and his new Nigerian party NNPP counterpart, a former Governor of Kano State, Senator Rabiu Musa, are contenders to look at. Joining us on the show this morning as we discuss the forthcoming battle between Atiku Abubarkar and Bola Tinubu in 2023 is Reno Omokri, a lawyer and human rights activist. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning.
Good morning, Reno. Yes, we can hear you. Good morning. Good to have you on the morning show. Very quickly, we now have the full list of the presidential candidates for the 2023 general elections. Who is your favorite? And why? And do you think Nigeria is ready for a Muslim ticket, which is something that we've been discussing on this program today?
Well, thank you for that question. My favorite candidate is obviously Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party. And the reason why is because he's the man with a plan. We've seen his plan to fix Nigeria. He has a plan to create jobs, provide opportunities. And when you have jobs and opportunities, it's going to lead to security. Now, I listened to Ayo Padukun talking about restructuring of the country. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said he's going to restructure Nigeria, and that's what we need. And he's even talked about doing it right away. Talked about what he can do with executive orders, like some of the things that ASU are talking about, he can do by executive orders. Other things he'll have to work with the National Assembly. So, it's a very, very good strategy that he has. He has a plan, and people can see that. So I'm absolutely certain that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not just the best candidate, but that he's going to win the election. And then if you also want to go back down memory lane, we need somebody who in his private life has been able to create wealth for himself. Before he became vice president, he founded or co-founded one of the largest port logistics firms in Africa that was worth, like about $1 billion before he became vice president. Now it's worth much, much more, But then in his private life, look at the things that he's done. Look at education. He's invested in the American University of Nigeria, Yola, and, he's a big lover of education. So that means he'll be able to fund education. And I'm a big promoter of education because education is the only means by which Nigeria can move from third world to first world in one generation. So in direct answer to your question, my favorite candidate is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Yeah, Muslim ticket.
Now, when you talk about the Muslim ticket, I wanted to avoid that because it's not going to be an issue in our party. However, when you talk about the Muslim ticket, you see, Nigerians are very, very sensitive, and I'm a logical person, so I tend to focus on logic. If you look at a period of 9 years, talking about from 1966 to 1975, Nigeria, a lot of people don't know this, Nigeria was actually governed by a Christian ticket. You had General Yakubu Gowon, who was at the top as the head of state, and you had Vice Admiral Wade, who was his chief of general staff. Both were Christians. Both governed Nigeria for 9 years. And while governing Nigeria, they provided, no other administration in Nigeria's history has provided infrastructure like that administration. They provided infrastructure for everybody, including even in the southeast, or rather the eastern region then, after the Civil War, they had the reconstruction, And so that administration, nobody even cared that it was a Christian ticket. They were much loved in the north. Because, and you see, that administration proved that when Nigerians see performance, they are not likely to look at whether the ticket is a Muslim or Christian or Muslim. Right now, we've got a Muslim Christian ticket. Look at is Nigeria balanced? Nigeria is very, very imbalanced now. So having that kind of ticket does not balance or imbalance Nigeria. It's the personalities that are involved.
Right. With regards to the Muslim ticket, Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai has said Nigeria's fixation on religion is pathetic, and that personally, because he has a lot of Christian friends, he looks at people through a different lens. I'd like your comments on that, whether we are too fixated, possibly veering into the region of paranoia, or whether those who are adamant about balancing, religious balancing, ethnic balancing, all kinds of balancing, whether, people like that are within their rights to feel that way, whether that's the logical approach. Still on El-Rufai, I want your take on his views that APC will prevail at next year's election. APC stalwarts like El-Rufai and Femi Fani-Kayode have said that your party, PDP, is going to be trounced next year. Well, they would. But even those who are quite neutral and are not members of either political parties feel that the ruling party does have an upper hand. What's your response to this?
Okay, I'll take the second question first. Someone like Nasir El-Rufai, you got for you to understand, Winston Churchill said that for you to understand the future, you got to look back in the past. Nasir El-Rufai is frightened, he's scared of an Atiku Abubarkar presidency because Atiku Abubarkar brought him into government. Helped him, made him the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises. And eventually he became a minister, and then he backstabbed him, he betrayed him. And so in his mind, he can't conceive of an Atiku Abubarkar presidency. So his mind is generating delusionary scenarios for him to make him think that the All Progressive Congress is going to win. As for, look at what he's done in Kaduna State. Look at what he's done to his enemies. Destroyed homes, sent some of them into exile, arrested others. So he's thinking that everybody is like him. So he cannot conceive of an Atiku presidency because he thinks that's what's going to happen to him. And it's not going to happen to him because Alhaji Atiku Abubarkar is not like that. You talk about Femi Fani-Kayode. This is a man who, just 3 months ago, he was telling Nigerians that Yahaya Bello was going to become the next president. Now, if a man is that politically naive to think that a fellow like Yahaya Bello is going to become the next Nigerian president, and you see what happened, you saw how many votes he even got in his party primaries, I'm not going to respond to someone like Femi Fani-Kayode. Obviously, he's politically immature. Now, going down to the nitty-gritty of your question, you see, if you look at like I said, I look at elections from a logical point of view. I'm not emotional. Let's look at the voter registration numbers. Now, if you look at the voter registration numbers, the Northwest has registered 21 million voters. Now, the Northeast has registered 12 million voters. The North Central has registered 14 million voters. Coming down south, the Southwest has registered 17 million voters. The South-South has registered 12 million voters. And then the South, I think 14 million voters, sorry. And then the Southeast has registered 10 million voters. And then if you go again, you look at the results from the 2019 elections, you look at that the Northwest, they had 8.2 million voters. The Northeast, they had 4.3 million voters. The North Central had 4.4 million voters. The Southwest had 3.8 million voters. The South-South had 3.3 million voters. And then the Southeast had 2,186,000 voters. Now, if you look at what's going to happen right now, Kwankwaso is an unknown quality outside the Northwest. In the southern part of Nigeria, people are scared of him because of his extremely northern irredentist view. So he's not going to get much votes in the South. His votes are going to be concentrated in the Northwest and especially in Kano. Now, in Sokoto, we got a governor like Tambuwal who's working for us, who believes in our candidates. So we're going to get votes there. In Zamfara State, we're going to get, majority of the votes there because the mother, Atiku Abubarkar's mother, comes from Zamfara State. In Jigawa, the strongman of Jigawa politics, Sule Lamido, is with us. And we're expecting massive number of votes there. Yes, the votes in Kano are going to be split because Kwankwaso is a big factor there. Now, if you look at the Kaduna, in Kaduna State, we're going to get even with Governor Nasir El-Rufai, because Nasir El-Rufai only became governor in Kaduna by the influence of Muhammadu Buhari. So we are going to have a good showing in the Northwest, and then we're going to have a clean sweep in the Northeast. Now, if you look at the southern Nigeria, most likely we're going to have a vice presidential candidate from southern Nigeria. I suspect it's going to come from the South-South. So we're going to get a huge number of votes in the South-South. Now, in the Southeast, yes, we have Peter Obi, and so it's going to probably affect us there because he's quite popular. But people of the Southeast are not, how do I put it now? They're very sophisticated. They know that Peter Obi is a good candidate. I like him. I believe in him. But he's unlikely to win. So they're not likely to waste their votes. And we have a candidate in Bola Tinubu who has several issues. He's got health issues, obvious health issues. This year alone, he's been to London publicly that we know of about 3 times. So this is a man, we do not want a repeat of what has happened with Muhammadu Buhari in these past 7 years, whereby he's been unable unable to govern because of his ill health, and then an unelected cabal has come in to govern on his own, on his behalf, and have made a mess of Nigeria. I think it was just last week that Arise Television put on TV the GDP growth rate of each of the 4 administrations that we've had in the past. And we saw that under President Olusegun Obasanjo, Nigeria had a GDP growth rate of 6.58. Under President Yar'Adua, Nigeria had a growth rate of about 7.8. Under President Jonathan, we had a growth rate, GDP growth rate, consistent GDP growth rate of about 5%. But then in the last 7 years of Muhammadu Buhari, we've had an average growth, a GDP growth rate of less than 1%. So Nigerians are saying that these people, they met an economy that on May 29, 2015 was the 3rd fastest growing economy in the world, according to CNN Money, the 4th fastest growing economy in the world, according to the British government, the 4th fastest growing economy in the world, according to the World Economic Forum. And now Nigeria is the world headquarters for extreme poverty. They are not fools. The Southwest is probably the most sophisticated part of Nigeria. So they want this country to progress. I don't see them voting en masse for Bola Tinubu the way people expect it. So, I mean, the scenario painted by El-Rufai and FFK is just delusionary.
Okay, 2 things. Number 1, Atiku Abubarkar is 75 years old. If he's to do a second term, he'll be 80 by that time, or 79. He'll be one of the oldest presidents we ever had. A lot of people are talking about his age in a country where the median age is 18 or 19 years old. I mean, how do you juxtapose these concerns? And secondly, no, hang on a minute. And secondly, what are the concerns really as regards his candidature? Because people are beginning to talk. And you are saying other people have baggages. People are talking about his baggage too. You know, people are talking about Halliburton. People are talking about all sorts of things. And they're saying it's just birds of the same feather, that he's not part of the new flock. He's been running since 1993. He's got baggage too. They're saying the things Olusegun Obasanjo said against him at some point in time. They're talking about corruption.
Can I respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're talking about his age. Now, yeah, he's 75, and we don't deny that. We're proud of his age. His age comes with experience. And then we see him, he's a very capable person. You know, we've seen him in the gym, we've seen him playing football. He was just playing football, the other time. Bola Tinubu can't do this. You've not heard that he's been going abroad for medical treatment. No, the man is fit and proper. He went around this country, demonstrated his fitness, going around every state of this country, visiting people, visiting delegates. Now, in the issue of Halliburton, he was not indicted in Halliburton. I deal in facts, I don't deal in fiction. Alhaji Atiku Abubarkar, for your information, and I'm sure you know this being a journalist, is the most investigated politician in Nigeria. Yet nothing, absolutely nothing has been established against him. You talked about Olusegun Obasanjo. Yeah, they had a quarrel. Olusegun Obasanjo said some things. He's taking them back. In 2019, he endorsed him. He said that this is the best man for the job. This election season, we're also expecting him to endorse him. So if you look at him, they brought up claims that he couldn't go to the United States. He went to the United States. He stayed very, very close to the Department of Justice at the hotel there. Nothing has happened to him. You see, people can make allegations, especially when you are a person as popular as Alhaji Atiku Abubarkar. People are going to make allegations. You know, if you, Rufai, suddenly find yourself in an elected position, people are going to come up with allegations against you. Now, an allegation, no matter how beautiful, is not a fact. It's not a conviction. So this man has been investigated and he has been found to have been clean as a whistle. You mentioned Halliburton. Again, I'm going to say he was not indicted by Halliburton. He has never been indicted. He has never been convicted. The man is clean as a whistle.
Okay. You tried to do a random review of some of the presidential candidates, even if you already made it clear that Atiku Abubarkar is your favorite. I'd like to have your comments on some of those other, candidates. Omoyele Sowore says, well, he may not have succeeded in 2019, but this time around is when, he and his supporters will take back government. And also, you have a lot of people talking about Peter Obi, who has generated a lot of enthusiasm among young people. And being of a Southeast extraction, there are persons who think, he probably stands a chance because that will fit the expectations of people from the Southeast. And there are other candidates that, of course, you can also add to the ones you commented on earlier. But you may start with Sowore and Peter Obi.
Okay, well, let's look at Omoyele Sowore. You look at what happened during the NSAS. Omoyele Sowore showed his face to the youths of Nigeria during NSAS. What happened? They told him to get away. They told him to get lost. You can see it's on video. They rejected him. He was almost beaten. So, I mean, what more can I say? Look at the Sorosuke generation. They rejected him. So if he thinks he's going to do better in 2023 than he did in 2019, well, I mean, it's his cup of tea. Now, let's talk about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is an excellent candidate. I like him. He used to be a member of our party for 8 years until he left. But you see, let's look at the facts. You've seen that, this man, he's very popular among the youth. Yeah, I see that there's a lot of popularity on social media. But you got to understand that social media is not a reflection of Nigeria. If you have ever read the Brothers Grimm fairy tale, the town musicians of Bremen, you had these four musicians.
Well,
sorry?
I was going to say we need to take a live coverage, but your point has been very well made. Thank you very much, Reno Omokri, for joining us on the morning show today.